necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to Kiss My Biz, your weekly reality business show, where each week a business owner joins our good cop and bad cop duo looking for real but informative business solutions and resources to grow your business. Our good cop, Claude Jenkins, has a diverse career ranging from government, corporations, and management consulting. He is the Vice President of Operations at Global Business Development Center and a guardian angel for most businesses. Annette Gray, aka Bad Cop, is the President and owner of Global Business Development Center. She has 20 years experience in management, economic development, and marketing in the private and public sector. She is passionate about developing entrepreneurs. Let's join our dynamic duo as they place another business owner in the hot seat and find out if they are ready to kiss their business with love. Or is today the day they kiss their business goodbye?
You've met me right. Good evening and welcome to the Kiss My Biz show. Happy President's Day to all that are listening. We have some guests with us this week. This is Annette Gray, your bad cop, and I'm here with
Claude Jenkins, the good cop.
And our guest this week is Vin Nolan from the Delray Beach Economic Development Office, and he's going to tell our businesses how to truly leverage and maximize some of the incentives and opportunities that cities and quasi-government agencies have made available either through a recruitment or a retention tool for businesses in the cities. And I know you've heard me say this before, but Vin will tell you that he has a counterpart in each city, each county. So because he is here from Delray Beach does not mean that the same service does not exist to you in some form or capacity. So a few housekeeping details. Don't forget, if you have a question for us, you can reach us at 888-565-1470. And you can listen to us live at www.globalbusinessdevelopmentcenter.com. So, Claude, how was your week?
My week was exceptionally normal.
Oh, my.
Yes, it was just a lot of information that I have to digest over the weekend, or this weekend that I have to digest this week.
Okay.
But
well,
I'm alive and well this evening.
well, you're looking good. You're looking like you're managing it well.
You know, it's looks so deceiving, but Santa Claus is dead. We'll just move on.
I hope we have no kids listening to this
I
show.
know, this will just kill them.
You torpedoed all their dreams of Santa Claus. Great, thank you. Well, we did say this is your grandmother's show. Is that one of our taglines?
Yes,
our business taglines?
This is not the little kid's show.
So, Vin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Annette. It's a pleasure to be here.
Good, and thank you for removing yourself poolside. I know you had the day off today.
It was President's Day, but when you're in the economic development business, you work 24/7 as necessary.
Duty
So
call.
here I am.
Well, I definitely appreciate you taking the time, you know, from your tanning and joining us. So we definitely do appreciate
Glad
it.
to be here.
So let's delve right into it. Tell us a little bit about, well, economic development and your role and what you do.
Sure. My job as an economic developer at the local level is really about breaking through barriers and assisting a local business trying to succeed. It can be an existing local business. It can be a company that's looking to come into town. It can be somebody that's in business and is trying to expand. So it runs a gamut of the types of business endeavors that I engage with. But my job really at the heart of it is to make it simpler for business to do business. And there's no day that is the same as the previous day. There's always new challenges, new surprises. One of the joys of the job is meeting business people who have a great idea,
Right.
and and want to do it in your community.
Absolutely. And Delray is a hot spot these days. A lot of bevy of activity going on.
A variety of things.
Right.
You know, it's known for its dining and entertainment qualities, but there are also small tech firms, small marketing firms that are starting up. We've been successful, and we'll talk a little bit later about recruiting some larger employers to sort of expand the employer base in Delray Beach. But it is a community, like many communities in South Florida, that built its economic cycle around tourism and residential expansion, retirement communities, and so forth. But what we're endeavoring to do in this phase of its economic growth is to try to grow Delray Beach in a broader, more expansive nature, to have more businesses that can sustain the ups and downs of the overall economy.
Right, and what's interesting and what I've been noticing is that expansion is now moving away just from the east side and is getting some foothold west on the west parts of the city as well, which is interesting. I've always said that the cities that do a better job at economic development are the ones that focus not only on recruitment, but retention as well, because you can bring in new businesses, but you don't want to lose your existing good businesses, and also the whole focus is on the entire city. So your role is a joint function, so tell us a little bit about that.
That's correct. Thank you for bringing that up. Initially, when I was brought to Delray Beach, I moved here from the Northeast. It was to focus critically on the downtown and some great growth opportunities that the Community Redevelopment Agency was working on. Some redevelopment projects centered around certain properties. A hotel, which we broke ground on officially this past week. That was a couple of years in the making. There's a couple additional projects coming up out of the ground soon, we hope, including a theater in the downtown and some additional office and retail opportunities. But beyond that role within the community redevelopment area, my job has been to develop a strategy to expand that broader base of economic growth throughout the city. And so we focused on target areas south of Linton on Federal Highway. We focused on the Congress Avenue corridor that runs between Boca Raton and Boynton Beach, and have tried to turn some underperforming properties back around to see if we can't get some exciting new investment into those areas. A challenge, to be sure, but definitely one that we think we've got a track moving along towards making some success there.
Yeah, and we should mention that Elizabeth Burrows, who is your right hand, was here several months ago, about 2 months ago, and she did not get a great deal of time to tell us about what that actually looks like when you say you focus and you're interested in recruitment, retention. So let's talk a little bit about the specifics. If a new business is interested in coming into Delray Beach, what does that look like?
Well, a couple of years ago, I was able to convince the City Commission that the first thing we needed to do was be in the game for recruitment, because there were large amounts of property and office space available. The city heretofore had not had any incentive programs on a citywide basis at all. They had relied exclusively on grants and other incentives created by the CRA within the community redevelopment area. So the City Commission authorized the creation of an incentive fund and set aside $1 million from the city's unrestricted reserves towards incentives. And then I set about creating specific incentive programs that would be useful, particularly in that Congress Avenue corridor, to fill larger space. So the one that has caught the most attention and has been used now on a couple of occasions recently is a job creation incentive program that provides to employers who are either bringing new jobs into the city or growing existing jobs within the city a per capita bonus, if you will, for the jobs that they bring. So the largest success to date is a law firm that relocated to Delray Beach, over 225 jobs at the outset. They've committed to 250 jobs over a one-year period from the start point to the end point that they will retain for up to a 5-year period. and they will receive, I believe the per capita is about $800 per job.
It's fantastic.
Paid out over a 5-year period. So it's a significant dollar amount, but the impact of those jobs being moved to Delray Beach and the spending and the dollars circulating throughout the economy are significant. But it's part of a broader strategy, and the broader strategy is we've had a significant amount of vacant office space in that corridor. And so to lift the property values and to encourage the investment in new properties along that corridor, we need to fill the existing dormant space first.
Right.
And so that's one step forward that we've taken in doing that. Now, we use the same tool to retain Levenger Company, which is a corporate headquarters that has built their business in Delray Beach. And they were being entreated by a similar incentive to another community. We used it as a retention tool, so to maintain that company in our community. Concurrently with the cash incentives, we'll call it cash incentives, that job creation incentive, we also passed an ordinance that would afford the city commissioners the ability to provide tax exemption to businesses who are property owners for creation of new investment or new jobs in the community. And we have a couple of companies that are looking currently to take advantage of that. And one is a company that's purchased some property in Delray Beach. It's of a more industrial nature, but they're looking to relocate about 100 jobs from another community. And so we're going to be giving them a tax exemption over a brief period of time on their new capital investment in their new property. So that's more of a deferral of income as opposed to writing them a check
up front.
Up front, exactly.
And I think one of the things that most people don't realize, they'll see a thriving downtown during the nighttime hours. You know, they see the restaurants and the traffic and the streets, and they don't realize that there does need to be a balance between daytime activity. We don't want to be known as just a nighttime city. Those restaurants need to have activity during the daytime as well, whether that's lunch, business meetings, corporate events, etc. So it's very important, that blend, that retail recruitment blend of offices, business, and different types of technology for our future generations. Because as you know, I have a whole soapbox about well, many soapbox, but this one in particular is about creating a future and a lifestyle for our grandchildren. We may not, and I know we got a bit of pushback from some of the development that came into our downtown, and I particularly was very verbal about saying, you may not care for it, but remember that we are creating a city for your grandchildren and a future for that, and they're very different than we are.
I think that one of the things that you have to recognize if you're in the growth of the economy business is you have to regard it as any business owner would, as a marketplace, and the people that you're marketing your community to will define what it is they're looking for. You don't define it for them.
Exactly.
And I think we have to be cognizant of that fact.
So we're going to take a brief commercial break. We will come back and speak specifically about some of the additional grants and some of the counterparts that you work with in Delray Beach and the county to help with the recruitment and retention of businesses. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for a West Palm Beach accounting firm with a client-first philosophy, contact Remap Incorporated today. Our firm provides outstanding service to our clients because of our dedication to the 3 underlying principles of professionalism, responsiveness, and quality. Call us at 561-623-0241. We offer standard services such as bookkeeping and tax preparation, but unlike others, we have developed an extensive menu of specialized services designed to ensure that your business remains financially sound and prepared for a strong future. Want to learn more? Call us at 561-623-0241 or visit our website, www.remap.com. That's www.remap.com. Remap with 2 M's. Let us prepare for you a solid future. Call us at 561-623-0241. Are you in need of legal representation and just can't find a legal team that understands your dilemma? Cousins Law Firm is a cohesive blend of attorneys and legal assistants of diverse backgrounds and cultures. This broad scope of experience gives them a well-rounded and fresh perspective on cases and client needs. They have offices to serve clients across the nation, specifically West Palm Beach, Florida. Call today, 561-835-1727, or visit the website www.cousinslawfirm.com. The firm's logo, the white horse, is a biblical symbol of truth, humility, and justice, principles on which they base their practice. Their goals at Cousins Law Firm is to provide full service and satisfaction to their clients during every step of representation. Call today, 561-835-1727, and get the best representation you deserve. Welcome back to Kiss My Biz, where we have another business owner on the hot seat. If you can't stand the heat, don't get in the kitchen. Our good cop, bad cop duo continues to challenge today's business owners to take on the 21st century business world fearlessly. Now, back to our show.
Good evening. We're back. As you can see, I'm Claude Jenkins, the good cop. I'm along with
Annette Gray, the bad cop.
And we have sitting with us Vin Nolan, who's with the CRA of Delray Beach. And we're discussing some phenomenal information that he's getting ready to unload on us. And we'll just pick it up where we left off.
So we were talking about, he's not unloading, Claude. I mean,
He's unloading?
I feel like he has 2 6-shooters at his side of his hip, you know, ready to do.
He unloaded the first half. He gave us some real good information.
It was. It's
Economic developers are sort of hired guns.
Are they really?
Yeah.
No, it's great information. It's fantastic information. And for the businesses that are listening, please listen keenly, because we do hear all the time, what is you know, quasi-government or government or doing to help businesses, and it's not that they're simply just unaware,
right,
I think, of the help and assistance that is out there for them to take advantage of. So we spoke during the first half specifically primarily about what economic development is, what your role is, what a good plan looks like, retention, recruitment, and I wanted to get into, and we got into one of the programs that businesses, both existing and coming in, can take advantage of. So let's talk about a few other of the programs that are available and some of the counterparts within the county or the state that they can leverage our programs with.
Sure. I'll come back to some of the things that we've created at the local level. One of the things that would assist an existing business owner in our community is a micro-lending program, just on the cusp of actually rolling it out. Micro-lending is not a new concept, but it's not readily available in every community, and we've created a program and a partnership between the Community Redevelopment Agency and the city to lend small amounts of money to existing business owners to expand their businesses. Generally, businesses that have a harder time accessing capital in the traditional markets.
Sure.
And so our goal is to build capacity in smaller businesses so that they can then grow their business and then become financially secure and then go back to the private sector and borrow additional money in the future when they need it. What's interesting about that is there are other programs around. So if your listeners are in other communities and they don't have their own micro-lending fund, there are broad county-wide programs in various counties here in South Florida.
And we have had 3 of those counterparts already on the show. Last week we had
Axion.
Axion is a great
right.
international provider
Exactly.
of that service. Our goal at the local level in Delray Beach in creating our own program is to really hone down into individuals in our community, in particular target areas of our community that we know need a lift in terms of their business growth and potential. We hope that as we become effective in rolling those loan funds out, where there's need for more, we'll be able to partner with agencies or companies like Axion, who can either do additional funding or pick up second-tier funding at a later date once we've identified and helped those business owners sort of create their plan. Oftentimes what you find in a local community is that small business owners know their business. They have a great idea. They have the ability to launch, but they don't always have all the pieces in place to be a long-term successful business. Sure. And that's part of our goal through this program, is to build business practices as well as provide funding. So that's another one at a local level that's also replicable, on a broad countywide basis or even larger than that. I know you wanted me to talk about counterparts and who does what. Not every community has an economic development professional. Oftentimes, these are people that do the work that I do are included in community improvement departments. Sometimes they're within the planning and zoning department function. They take on the role of economic development, whether or not that is their professional training or not. Oftentimes it's a member of the city manager's office that individuals can be a resource to small business to solve problems, to get through what is generally a bureaucracy of rules and regulations to launching a new business or expanding a business. So there's generally someone in the local community. Occasionally you'll find them in the Chamber of Commerce, that they'll be a dedicated person assigned to an economic development function.
Okay. And I hope to reach out to Kelly Smallridge, who is at a county level. That's with correct. The Business Development Board, seeks to recruit. I'm not sure if she does any retention, but we certainly do hope to reach out to her and invite her to the show to speak specifically to what she does.
She would be a great guest for your program, for your listeners to hear, because the BDB of Palm Beach County is the preeminent business recruiting organization in the state of Florida. There are others that perhaps do as well, but nobody does better. And their role is to work collaboratively with the state of Florida, Enterprise Florida, which is the state's recruiter. And they work diligently with Enterprise Florida to bring new companies both from other parts of the United States but also from around the globe. They've had some really good successes in recruiting business to South Florida from Brazil, from Spain, from Japan, and other places around the globe and around the nation. My role is to work with them when they have prospects that have a need, and perhaps Delray Beach can meet some element of that need.
Certainly. And I know it gets a bit competitive too, right?
It certainly can.
Because if a new business is looking to come into the South Florida area, they certainly, depending on the type of business they are and the footprint they're looking for and their target market and such, so they may not just be looking at one city, they may be looking at multiple cities, and then it becomes your job and your counterpart's job to sell them on your area.
That is correct. The way the BDB works is they bring them to the neighborhood, and they expect the locals to sell them on the particular neighborhood, and that's where my function comes into the recruitment aspect.
I hope the listeners are garnering from this that whether you're looking to move or expand your business, there is an additional opportunity here as well, and it's really with your networking and strategic alliance partnerships with the Vin Nolans, with the Kelly Smallridge, and with Enterprise Florida. Because if you provide any service that's aligned with a business coming in, and you're looking to market your services to these new enterprises coming in, it really is, and you can speak to this, Vin, it really having a head start and knowing they're coming in and being able to market your service to them prior to them getting here and setting up shop.
Correct.
I would think that's a good opportunity.
It is. In fact, a lot of people like to get to know their local economic developer for just that reason.
Right.
We recently had a company relocate from, I believe it was New York, and they ended up looking at Boca Raton and Delray Beach. They ended up locating their business in Boca Raton. Their three principals ended up buying homes in Delray Beach. So the connectivity of the economic developer to the prospect and then back to other service providers
Right.
has a broad impact. So no matter where the business lands, perhaps the business owners land in a different location, and they have other needs.
Absolutely.
And in this most recent case, I ended up speaking with a spouse of one of the principals who's looking to create a new business of their own.
Okay.
And that one's more likely to be in Delray Beach. So there's economic development is not one size fits all, and while it is competitive,
Right.
every loss is not a loss. You know, there's always a new opportunity for a win somewhere around the corner. So it's keeping your eye open for that as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I know you do a very good job at that. So we have about 3 minutes before we wrap up the show. You can use that to your avail. I said maybe tell our listeners how to reach you.
Sure.
And if we have some time, maybe fit another program in there.
Nice.
You're a fast talker.
Nice. Yeah, I cover a lot of ground fast. My office is actually located in City Hall. I can be reached at City Hall at 561-243-7009. I have an alternate office where Elizabeth Burrows, who you mentioned earlier, is located in the Community Redevelopment Agency, and reaching one of us, you can get both of us. She, let's see, I'm not used to giving that number out anymore, so I can't
That's
do it
fine.
off
We
the
can
top of
send
my
it
head.
to the
Claude,
website.
you can read it off the card.
There
if
you
like.
go. Try that one.
I'm sorry, it's 561-276-8640. You can reach us also through the website, the City of Delray Beach, which is mydelraybeach.com or delraycra.org. You can reach either one of us. We're happy to help anybody inquiring about moving their business or growing their business in Delray Beach. If we can't be of assistance, our most important function is to know where we can get you assistance.
Certainly.
And so whether that's business planning, whether it's financing, whether it's solving permit issues, there are a lot of different aspects.
And that's a big one.
Yes.
If you're coming
Yeah.
into a new
Yeah.
city, navigating the permitting department is definitely a challenge, or it
It
can
could
be
be a
very
nightmare.
daunting. Absolutely.
Correct.
So I'm sorry we didn't get a chance to talk about that a little bit more. So I'm getting the sign. It's the finger. It says,
I was that bad.
1 minute.
Yes.
1 minute I have to wrap it up. So that was just so much great information. I knew it. I knew you had it in you. Thanks for coming. I know it was a holiday. I'm eternally grateful and appreciate it.
I'm certainly glad to do it.
No problem at all. And hopefully we can have you back later in the year with some more exciting news. So thanks for joining us. Claude, you have anything to share before we wrap it up?
Don't forget our boot camp next Tuesday and Wednesday.
Oh, okay. And hop on the, give us a call at Global Business Development Center for more information on that. And have a wonderful week.
You've been listening to Kiss My Biz, your weekly reality business show, where each week a business owner joins our good cop and bad cop duo looking for real but informative business solutions and resources to grow your business. Tune in again next time for more Kiss My Biz. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of the station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Coming to Jamaica in search of true relaxation, complete escape, or exhilarating adventure, Serendipity will offer unpredictable and delightfully pleasant discoveries as well. Nestled in the pristine hills of